Hello, forward thinkers, and welcome to another episode of Urban Canvas. Today we have with us Markidou Georgiadou, founder and managing director of Cyprus Seeds. Maria, thank you so much for coming to our podcast to talk about Cyprus Seeds and some exciting new initiatives. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what Cyprus Seeds does in general before we dive into the niche?
Sure. First of all, thank you very much, Fast Forward, for inviting me to this lovely discussion. And yes, Cyprus Seeds, 7 years old initiative, a national program in Cyprus aiming to support the commercialization of innovative scientific research from the universities and research centers of Cyprus. It is a unique initiative, as there's nobody else looking in such a focused manner to support this purpose. So we are complementing the objectives of the government of Cyprus, those being to create a pipeline of startups from the scientific world, deep tech startups, who will make us proud as Cypriots, as we wish to address through these startups world problems. It's not only about Cyprus, it's about world problems and giving solutions to world problems.
So basically you're taking people from the academia and you help them transition into the market.
Exactly.
What's the biggest obstacle in bridging that gap?
Yeah, there's so many obstacles, but yes, in my opinion, the biggest challenge for the program as well is to change the mindset of the scientists and the very best that we have in the academia to be thinking entrepreneurially, not only to pursue a career in academia. There is something more beyond academia, and that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. So that's the biggest challenge, to change the mindset of those PhDs, researchers, postdocs, and the principal investigator, that being usually the faculty with whom a scientific team is working to solve a world problem on the basis of research.
Okay, that's very exciting. And
it's not the funding.
It's not the funding. Yeah, because everybody would think that, oh, how we get the money, but the money will come if your idea is great and if you can prove that you can really work to manifest it.
Yeah, there's a lot of funding. And now you know that we have in Cyprus an equity fund dedicated to support startups, that being 33 East, which is being supported by the government of Cyprus.
I've heard about that.
So there's no excuse that we don't have equity funds on the ground. And beyond funding from the 33 East, there are many other venture capital funds in Greece, the nearby country Greece, not leave aside Europe and the US. So there's lots of funding for very good, unique technology startups. It's a matter of having the right team behind that to implement the solution.
And I assume that Cyprus Seeds plays that key role of bringing these young minds that might be overwhelmed with how to do this and how to do that, and you help them with structure and process into achieving funding and everything else.
That's exactly the gap we feel. If I may say at the beginning of our discussion, the offering of Cyprus Seeds includes a bit of grants. On average, we give 50,000 grants. Mentoring from experienced mentors from the US mostly, and those we are connected with mostly, but not entirely, is
and
the
from
MIT.
Very big universities.
Yeah, MIT in the US. As MIT is running a similar program as the Cyprus Seeds program for the last 20 years. And by the way, it was our inspiration to introduce the Cyprus Seeds program in Cyprus. So we engage evaluators as well as mentors from the MIT who have done commercialization before. So our teams, who we support in every cycle of the program, get the very best, if you like, on a regular basis, as the mentoring we offer to them is on a monthly basis. And by the way, it is pro bono. Pro bono. That means they have free advice on a regular basis how to steer the development of their product and to go to the market. And then we finally offer some training to give to the scientists and the academics that is the basic business skills, if you like, they are lacking. For example, we offer training on how to go to the market and do the necessary customer exploration and test whether what they're doing in the lab has any credit or any value to the customers.
Yeah, identifying the problem and seeing if this solution is the right fit for them.
That's correct, and get the comments and the feedback from the customer. We train them on how to talk with impact, because usually the academics talk with their own language, which is mostly based on the research and
the complicated terminology.
Exactly, that the average person might not understand. And then we also train them how to protect their intellectual property, which is extremely critical. I mean, for scientific innovation, unless you protect the IP, nobody will invest in you. And finally, we train them on how to pitch with persuasion to potential investors. So that's another thing we offer. And finally, a very critical ingredient of the Cyprus Seeds program is the fact that we have a huge network, both in the industry and with potential investors. So we connect the teams who participate in the program with potential funding opportunities.
Maria, who is these amazing donors that believe in Cyprus Seeds and support you throughout these 7 years?
Well, the founding donors are Mr. George David, a philanthropist and an entrepreneur, Cypriot, from the Leventis and David families. And then, along with the Leventis Foundation, we have, as well as Mr. David, we have the Hellenic Initiative, who are the Greeks and Cypriots of the diaspora, a non-profit in New York, established in New York in 2012, supporting entrepreneurship in Greece and Cyprus. And then, following the founding donors, came Eurobank, initially EY and now PwC. We have the Lanitis Group, ExxonMobil, and finally Mohari Foundation, a Cyprus-registered company that came to us actually inspired by the impact and wanted to include Cyprus Seeds as their CSR in Cyprus. And then we have the government, as I mentioned, but we do have a number of other companies who are supporting, and they give us sponsorships, and including those are embassies like the USA Embassy and other small corporations who do pro bono for us, graphic work, events, and communication and publicity. So I would like to thank all of them again, as without them we wouldn't be where we are today.
So if anybody wants to support, they reach out on the Cyprus Seed website.
And we do give publicity, we give back to them much more than they wish sometimes, as we do events not only in Cyprus but outside Cyprus. We have done events in London, in Athens, in Boston, and of course we give publicity to our donors everywhere we go.
Excellent. This is a great segue into a new partnership that I've read you just managed to team up with Conception X, which is a UK's leading PhD deeptech venture program.
Exactly.
So how did that came about, and what do you think it's going to offer to the people that are involved with Cyprus Seeds?
Thank you for the question. I believe that having run Cyprus Seeds for the last 7 years, we have a lot of data, just like the startups are looking for data to base their future activity. We have enough data to know that a very important factor to a successful startup is to be connected with a bigger market, a more sophisticated market.
Because Cyprus is very small.
Exactly. Yeah. So because Cyprus is so small, there isn't much of industry in some of the sectors that we receive applications from. For example, health, we receive a lot of applications, and AI, and agrotech. So what do we do with Conception X? We aim to give a push to those we support, to be connected with bigger markets, to learn from other experts, not only those from the US we have been engaging, to learn from European mentors, as through Conception X, they receive mentoring and training from European experts. And therefore, we believe that Conception X is an integral part of the offering of Cyprus Seeds. And we have witnessed it, as this is the very first time we have joined the Conception X program. Our teams are 6 teams in the 4th cohort of Cyprus Seeds, participating in the training and the events being offered by Conception X. Just before I came here, I spoke to all the teams, and what they said to me is that it's the first time we feel that our world is beyond Cyprus. So we are achieving exactly what we wanted to achieve with the SMART partnership. I call it SMART. We have signed up with Conception X. And Cyprus Seeds is paying even for the participation of our teams in Conception X, over and above the grant that we give to the teams, as we believe there's value to this relationship.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you really believe in those teams and you believe in those startups.
Yes.
Do you have over these 7 years a success story or a startup that is really close to you that you want to like shout out?
We're very proud of all the teams who we supported, and I think it's impressive, the fact that we have been running a program for only less than 7 years, and yet we have concluded with 5 spin-offs from different universities in Cyprus, and also we have been instrumental in the conclusion of a licensing agreement of a project we supported from the very first year of the Cyprus Seeds program. 7 years ago, we supported a team from the Cyprus Institute of Neurology and Genetics. This team is working on a therapy for a very rare disease, which unfortunately, if one inherits, will paralyze and die very young. So the therapy that is being discovered by a team of a doctor at the Institute of Neurology and Genetics was at its early stage. It was tested only on little mice in the lab of the SINC. And when we started working with the team, we paid for a postdoc to be recruited to work dedicatedly, to dedicate rather time on this therapy. We paid partly for the IP protection of this innovative therapy, and we also paid to help the team to negotiate a licensing agreement with a big pharma company in the US. And 7 years after, I asked the team, where are you today? And guess what? They said to me that through the licensing agreement, royalties fees came to the institute, close to $1 million because of the agreement. So the country is benefiting, the institute is benefiting, the department of the particular doctor is benefiting because he's getting part of those royalty fees to continue grow the team. So we have created employment, and that's one of the objectives of Cyprus Seeds. We have kept talent on the ground, that's yet another objective. And we have the chance of bringing to the world a therapy to save lives and have impact. Why? Because this therapy now has been tested on bigger mice than on monkeys, and now they have filed for approval for clinical trials. So with some luck, fingers crossed, we may be proud as Cyprus of a therapy that is saving lives.
That would be huge, that would be amazing.
So that's an example of what we are doing.
And you mentioned right now that what Cyprus is doing is benefiting Cyprus as a whole.
Yes.
Because it maintains talent here, it helps the economy, creates new jobs.
Yes.
What's your relationship with policymakers, and is there any policy you would like to see introduced in the future that will help initiatives like Cyprus Seeds?
An amazing question. We are very close with the government, and this is a good opportunity for me to thank the government because they have been supporting financially Cyprus Seeds since the very beginning. So how do we find money to give the grants and to operate? Well, we attract donations from the corporates and individuals who share the vision of Cyprus Seeds in Cyprus and abroad. But beyond corporates and individuals, we have attracted the attention of the government of Cyprus, and they are complementing the funding that we give to the projects we receive, we support every cycle. And I would like to thank them, and therefore, because we are close to the government, we meet often and we engage in their policy making, and we give them feedback, because we have feedback from the ground. We have real feedback. So they take note of what we give them, and they are very close to supporting our teams, because they pay attention to those spin-offs that came about from the University of Cyprus, from the BAC, from centers of excellence. That's where we are aiming to support scientific innovation. So thank you to the government, thank you to the corporates who have supported, and thank you also to the Greeks and Cypriots of the diaspora in the US, the Hellenic Initiative, who have believed in what we are about to do, the impact we are about to bring, and from year on also they're giving us funding, and we are their single project in Cyprus, as most of their work has been in Greece.
Excellent. Do you think we have a few centers of excellence in Cyprus, but Cyprus Seeds is unique in what it's doing.
Yeah.
Do you think there is ground for other NGOs to do what Cyprus Seeds is doing? Do you welcome the competition? Do you want to see more initiatives like that?
We welcome everybody to join forces as, first of all, we are a non-profit, so we are not competing with anybody.
With anybody.
Really, we are an equity-free program, even though we give grants and much more. If I were to put value to the whole package, to the whole offering of Cyprus Seeds, it's beyond the 50,000 grants. It's beyond 100,000. And therefore, for an organization to be giving such value and not asking for anything back except for impact, I think it's unique.
It's very unique.
So we are not competing with anybody. We are welcoming other initiatives, both public and from the private sector, to complement this effort. And this is the ask of the donors, by the way. What are the donors asking from Cyprus Seeds? They're giving their money. So what do they want back? They want impact. And that is very important. So we welcome NGOs, as you have mentioned, other NGOs in Cyprus. We welcome the government support through grant programs and otherwise. And we have been collaborating with all of them, as we believe that together and collectively we will achieve bigger impact.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially now that the government is putting so much focus in bringing back talent to Cyprus.
Yeah.
And
that's
having
one
that
of our major objectives.
Exactly, because the reason they're not here is because they don't have these opportunities. And Cyprus Seeds is creating these opportunities, is creating these companies that will work in deep tech, that will work in AI and all those sectors that usually don't have opportunities in Cyprus. So what's your short-term and long-term vision for Cyprus Seeds?
7 years we have been in existence. We are growing. The team is growing. I was alone when I started this 7 years ago. Now we are a team of 4. We even have an intern from Harvard who is here in Cyprus to spend two months with us. Therefore, what I wish to see is continuity of Cyprus Seeds. So beyond the Cyprus Seeds program, we did try to be party to other wonderful initiatives on the ground, and we are innovation partners to one of the 7 centers of excellence on the ground, the Phaethon Center of Excellence, which is looking to bring innovation in the area of renewables and green energy.
Okay.
So we are partners in the Phaethon, innovation partners, we are looking to bring to Cyprus this year, actually. We signed an agreement, licensing agreement with MIT, a new program of the MIT, which is extremely successful in the area, in the Boston area, but beyond, in 29 other countries. It's called the MIT Mentoring of Mentors Program, which aims to build a pipeline of mentors on the ground in the countries that adopt this sister program. So myself and another colleague went to MIT last November and received training as to how we should implement this very successful program in Cyprus, aiming to create a decent pipeline of amazing mentors with the brand of MIT in Cyprus to complement the international mentors we engage. So yeah, that's another thing I aspire to bring to Cyprus and to be a success, because it will support the objectives of Cyprus Seeds.
And increasing the value of everything that Cyprus Seeds is.
And this program is aiming to create a pipeline of mentors, not only for the Cyprus Seeds teams, but for the whole country.
Beyond.
So the centers of excellence might benefit from this program, and the startups in Cyprus.
May I ask, how do you pinpoint and select these startups? I know you do rounds of funding every year, but do these startups find you? Do you reach out to the universities?
We announce a call every year, and we invite those from academia and centers of excellence to apply should they be interested in commercializing their research. We are not interested to support research, we are interested to take the research from the lab to the market. So we receive applications, we send the applications we receive to a number of evaluators abroad. We only engage evaluators from abroad, mostly from MIT actually. Every application is evaluated by 3 evaluators, so those who rank very highly on the basis of the written application are invited for an interview. So there's yet a second phase to the interviewing and the selection process, and those who rank really high during the interview are the ones we select. We usually select 5 to 8 applicants.
A year?
For every cycle.
Every
cycle of Cyprus Seeds has an 18-month duration. So we have been receiving from all the universities and centers of excellence applications, and we have been receiving applications from a number of different sectors of the economy, but mostly health. And therefore we have a lot of health, and 3 of our 5 spin-offs are in the health. But we have a very interesting spin-off in the arts and culture from the Cyprus Institute.
Okay, I want to hear a little bit about that.
Which is quite interesting, yeah. And that is a platform that does art characterization. So basically pieces of art, and it doesn't have to be only paintings, it could be sculptures, it could be graffiti, it could be icons in the church, for which you wish to authenticate the artist. There is now this technology, which is a combination of a software and hard technology and equipment that identifies what's behind the canvas and who has done the piece of art. So there are examples of conclusion of who the real artist was, and they come to the surface because of this technology of the Artist Project from the Cyprus Institute. As they have been working, the team behind the Artist Project, which went through the Cyprus Seeds program 2 cycles actually, is working closely with the Louvre and the government of Cyprus.
That would be amazing if we get, like, if we solve some of the biggest mysteries in the art world. Excellent. So I'm gonna ask you some quick questions, a little bit more fun. I want you to tell me a startup that you're currently inspired by. It doesn't have to be from Cyprus Seeds. It could be from what you're observing in the world. I know you go to all these events with me, the Reflect Festival, Cyprus Diaspora Forum. I see you everywhere. Yeah. So anything that grabbed your attention?
I'm fascinated by, I will not point out one, but I will say that I'm very fascinated by startups that are relating to AI, because I think AI will rule the world. The world of the younger generation. And I think AI is very critical for startups. For startups, it's a very amazing tool. So I think, we're encouraging that AI-based technology to be also born here in Cyprus. And I know others like Tech Island are supporting, and therefore, it is something that I wish to follow more closely myself. I came back from England, and it was all about AI. So yeah, we should pay attention.
Yeah, and I think for the last 2 years, it's the only word I'm hearing everywhere.
Yeah, Yeah, but it can be giving solutions faster and more effectively to a number of sectors of the economy.
No, I think if used appropriately, it can really solve some
Again,
major
behind
issues.
those startups, the most critical factor of impact is the team. The team is always the most important factor in the implementation of any innovation.
Yeah, because they'll bring the culture, they'll bring the soul, they'll bring the...
and the feelings.
Okay, I want to know a city or country whose innovation ecosystem you admire.
Oh, lovely question. I won't say I admire, but I am extremely respectful of the ecosystem and the innovation that is happening in Greece. Really, I am very impressed. There is this buzz, there is this momentum, there is the government supporting, the private sector supporting, and there is progress. There is progress, and there is going to be surprises from Greece, in my opinion. So Israel and the US, the mother of entrepreneurship and innovation. But I think beyond Greece, if I may add, another country that I'm beginning to learn more about and I'm realizing that they will be surprising the world is the UK.
The UK?
The UK is paying a lot of attention. So there is initiatives from the government, Innovate UK, there's private accelerators like Conception X, the one we partnered with, which is focusing on scientific innovation, but much more than that, other accelerators that will bring about the difference. Yeah, but there is Germany, there is France. I've been following.
All the big players are trying to jump in and gain from this, but I think Greece is the most surprising country, you said, because people wouldn't think of it as an because
and it's next door to us.
No.
So we should be paying more attention to that.
No. Okay, a dream partnership or initiative you'd love to launch in the next decade. I mean, I don't know, you did MIT and Conception X, so I don't know what more exciting dreams you might have, but if there's anything, feel free to say.
I do have a dream about Cyprus Seeds, and that's to scale it up, take it outside Cyprus, because we teach our teams and our startups the significance of scaling it up to be sustainable. So that's what I want to do for Cyprus Seeds, take it out of Cyprus, and why not support similarly to what we've been doing here, other scientists from other universities and other countries in the world. Maybe the neighboring countries, Egypt, Lebanon, they are amazing in innovation and beyond.
Yeah, I think that's inevitable. I think that's going to happen very soon for Cyprus Seeds. Any closing remarks, anything you want to mention before we wrap this up?
Yes, I would like to say a very big thank you to my team. Without my team, and it's not only the team, the management team, it's the board and the donors and the family of Cyprus Seeds. Without them, we wouldn't have been where we are today. So the ecosystem in Cyprus as well is responding to what we are offering. So we would like to remain and become even more impactful. So we wish to receive the interest of much more, and as I have maybe communicated during this discussion, we are continuously striving to become better, to offer better, and to do much more smart partnerships outside Cyprus, aiming exactly to what I was saying earlier, to grow and remain as a very solid program in Cyprus and beyond.
Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. You truly are an inspiration, all the dedication, the work, the passion you've put into Cyprus Seeds over the last 7 years, and I really hope we do see Cyprus Seeds scale up and go beyond Cyprus. Everybody, thank you so much for watching these episodes of Urban Canvas. You can follow and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and until next time, keep inspiring.